Long ago, high on Montpelier Hill, where the wind scraped the bones of the earth, a house was raised from the dead. Not from timber and brick, but from stone. Stones pulled from a tomb older than memory. William Connolly, a wealthy landowner, built the lodge on this land in 1725 as a hunting retreat, using stones from an ancient tomb nearby. Among these stones was a standing stone, which Connolly ordered to be placed in the lodge. Unbeknownst to him, the land he had chosen was sacred, cursed by ancient forces. Connolly's hunting lodge stood proud and strong on the hill, a grand structure of stone and timber. The lodge was fully functional, built for leisure and hunting. He hosted lavish parties, his life a celebration of wealth and power. But the hill did not welcome the disruption. Shortly after the lodge's completion, a violent storm tore the roof off the building. The skies opened up, the winds howled, and the rain battered the walls. By morning, the roof was gone. The locals whispered that the hill had rejected the desecration of its sacred ground. But Connolly, ever the man of determination, rebuilt it stronger than before. After Connolly's death in 1729, the lodge was sold to Richard Parsons, the first Earl of Rosse, a man with an interest in the occult. Upon purchasing the lodge, Parsons quickly set to work transforming it into a place for the Hellfire Club, a secret society of powerful men who indulged in dark rituals. Parsons examined the standing stone that Connolly had placed in the lodge and decided to move it once again. He ordered it to be placed above the hearth, believing it would channel dark forces into the lodge. The Hellfire Club quickly became the gathering place for Dublin's elite, who came cloaked in secrecy to indulge in their forbidden desires. At the center of their rituals was the empty chair by the hearth, left for the devil himself. They drank, they gambled, and they played dangerous games. The fire beneath the standing stone flickered darker as the rituals grew darker. The air grew colder, and the laughter of the revelers turned hollow. One fateful night, a stranger arrived. His coat was blacker than pitch, his eyes dark and unsettling. No one knew his name, but no one dared ask. He took the empty chair by the hearth, as though it had always been meant for him. He dealt the cards with calm precision, and the room felt charged with an unknown energy. A nobleman leaning beneath the table to retrieve a dropped card saw beneath the stranger's boot a cloven hoof. The nobleman gasped, but the stranger smiled, a smile that showed far too many teeth, and then, in a flash of flame, he vanished. The only trace left behind was the ashes in his seat. After the stranger's disappearance, darker whispers began to fill the air. A black cat was sacrificed on the hearth, its lifeless body thrown into the flames. A priest was summoned to cleanse the lodge, but he fled in terror, muttering about shapes in the smoke and whispers rising from the cracks in the stone. The supernatural forces within the lodge were growing stronger. A farmer was found wandering the hill at dawn, his eyes wide, his mouth frozen in a silent scream. No one knew what he had seen, but the terror was palpable. Parsons, haunted by his actions, spent hours staring into the hearthstone, watching something move within its cracks. He felt the power growing stronger, but he didn't know how to stop it. Finally, on one last fateful night, the remaining members of the Hellfire Club gathered. Fewer now, some had vanished without a trace. The remaining members poured wine, lit candles, and began chanting words older than Latin, older than prayer itself. As they chanted, the fire in the hearth flickered wildly, casting long shadows across the room. Suddenly, a deep crack echoed from the hearth. The standing stone split in two, and smoke curled from its wound. Fire leapt from the hearth as if alive, consuming the walls, the ceiling, and the men within. The flames burned hotter than any fire should, and the screams of the men echoed down the hill, but no one could help them. By dawn there was nothing left but ruin, charred stone, ashes, and the blackened standing stone still standing untouched by the flames. The fire had consumed everything, but the stone remained. It stood as a silent witness to the destruction, its power undiminished. Today, the remains of the Hellfire Club still stand, a ruin where the wind claws at the broken walls. Some who climb Montpelier Hill say the air grows colder near the hearth. On stormy nights, a flicker of flame can still be seen behind the empty windows. Some say Parsons still sits by his fire, while others believe something darker has taken his place. The hill never forgets, and its curse endures, waiting for the next to disturb its ancient peace.